Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the League-Kempner House. Some of you know me. I'm Janie. I am now the president of the nonprofit set up to restore and preserve this house. And one thing we have been working really hard on is trying to get open for tours. We need money. It takes a lot of money to fix the serious problems wrong with this house. We've been working hard to pull together our first real fundraising event. On July 15th, we're having a Victorian fashion show. It will be held in the Broadway Church of Christ right across the street from the League-Kempner House. They've graciously donated the use of their building. I just love the community support we've been getting. It should be a lot of fun, so if you're interested in attending, check out our website, leaguekempnerhouse.org, for more information. The tickets can be purchased online. Another big source of funding for us is going to be tours. And we made the decision a long time ago that we would open as a work in progress so people could see the work going on and maybe come back and visit us every couple of years and see progress. And it is the end of May. Peak tourist season is here, and we need to get this house open at least 2 or 3 days a week. That's what our volunteer group was doing here a couple of weekends ago, trying to clean things out. But Heather's coming today, and she and I are going to take a walk through this house and make a complete list of everything that needs to be done kind of urgently or maybe throughout the summer to make things better. And we're going to get started on the things we can do. So let me show you a couple of the problems that are really obvious right now. Remember some of our very first videos where we talked about the order in which we tackled problems, and safety was number one. So if we're having people walk through here, we need to look at their safety. And we have all kinds of tripping hazards. We've had a short circuit in some of our temporary electric service. So we've got extension cords running willy-nilly everywhere. So these need to come out. There's stuff sitting on the floor that's a tripping hazard. All this just needs to get picked up. You saw the work Erin did in the parlor to get everything out of the way and get this room cleared. But we still don't want people meandering over into where the wood is stacked up. So we need to get some caution tape up or some barricades so they can look but not get in there and have something fall on them, like those shutters over there. We have a little bit more rearranging to do in here, or just some tape. This is not a safety issue, but this is a comfort issue for our guest. It's going to be hot, and we have this refrigerator that I took out of a rental property. It works great. We're going to run an extension cord in a way that nobody will trip and get this thing cleaned and turned on so we can stock it with water so anyone can grab a water here while they're walking through the house and cool off. Can you see what's in here? I can't either. Neither can our guest. So we need to run a temporary light and get this area visible. The other thing that we have to do for the comfort of our guests is get some air movement in here in the summer. And I have this one big fan. These are pretty expensive. I was looking at them online. We found this one on the side of the road after Harvey, and we dried it out, and it works great. But again, we need to run an extension cord in a way that nobody will trip, and get a few more of these to get some air movement in here. And this is just a little aside. This is our front door that somebody kicked in and damaged, and I'm always looking at it on the back side because that's what I see. We don't open it much, but I was looking at how to get this front more open for our guest, and my brain just kicked in for the first time where it's damaged down here at the bottom, that this door is not solid. It's actually veneered. It's a very thick overlay, maybe a 1/4 inch or more, but there's a different core and then with this overlay. So that's a different repair challenge than just gluing back the piece that was broken. And this isn't here anymore. They saved the big piece, but they didn't save that piece. So that will have to be cut out and try to match this wood grain and fill that in. And here's our wonderful tile. Joe and I spent a day this week down at the Moody Mansion. They have been gracious enough to help us with our tours and show us the ropes and act as a consultant for us. And one of the perks of that was that we got a very detailed tour of the Moody Mansion, looking at it from the perspective of how to set things up for tours. And I immediately noticed that they have the exact same tile that we do, just in a monochrome beige color. And I also found this exact same tile in the Bishop's Palace. Both of these houses were being built about the same time as the League-Kempner House. And I think it's interesting to see this was obviously kind of a fad of the time. Okay, Heather's not feeling well. She texted she's not coming, so I got started. I didn't think y'all would want to see me move insecticide around, but I do want to show you this. We haven't really looked at this before, and this is the high tank that goes to that old 1893 toilet that was in the servant's bathroom in the basement. And I am going to attempt to carry it upstairs, but as you can see, it's actually cast iron enameled over, so it's pretty heavy. And this is broken, but I think that may be part of one of those things that was laying on the dining room table. And I have to be careful how I pick it up because somebody's put these screws through the back. I may get a hammer and tap those out before I hurt myself. That is not going anywhere. So I'll just have to pick it up from this side and be careful. And I'm going upstairs to the locked servant's bedroom. So I have a long way to go with this baby. I guess I probably should have seen if I could pick it up before I went to all the trouble. All right. Okay, old knees. Hold back. Oh, that's not too bad. Okay, being old. I took it halfway up. It's going to rest there for a minute until I get my wind back. Let's go take a look at the bottom part of the toilet. And it is way too heavy for me to move. Even budget. It's solid porcelain. I may just see if I can spin it around in this corner so people can look at it. I don't know if it's weird that one of my absolute favorite things in the house is a toilet. This is the marble that came from under the grand staircase from that half bath. It's heavy. It can just stay there. We did put this on plywood, so let me see. Oh yeah, you just spin around. All right, so I'll leave that there and tie some caution tape across. I may get a bucket of water and try to clean that up. Oops. Hurt myself. That's not going anywhere either. That's full of the tile that came up from this area. So I think I'll just clean that off and let it stay. This was the back of a dresser I bought. I'm going to take it upstairs. Okay, that's looking a lot better, but I'm actually nervous about people walking on this. There's a problem underneath. I showed you early on in one of the videos and just haven't decided how to address it yet. So I may actually mark this area off. I'd like people to be able to walk through and see the little storage area. This is another little space y'all haven't been in much. It's the cupboard at the back of the kitchen that they would have stored some fresh produce items in, maybe a few dry goods. But it's a junk space for me, and it's a place where I put things initially that were extremely important before I had a locked room upstairs. There's also things like my DuPont caps, old door-knobs, light bulbs, a lot of toilet paper. When they clean the porta potty, they put 3 new rolls of toilet paper in, and somebody comes and steals them all. So I collect them on Mondays if I can and put them in here to save them. But I need to get all this cleaned out, and then I'll lay out the important things back on the table and kind of show you the treasures that were in here. And let me get rid of the junk first. I have a little problem. I can't get my cabinet door open because this is in the way. And this is the window frame that came out of the butler's pantry. And it was kind of in one piece, and 2 people carried it in here, but now it's come apart at the corners and it's a little unwieldy. It's on the window. I don't want to break my window, and there's just me. So I'm going to kind of move the camera out of the way and try to take the whole thing over to the other wall and then get a pry bar and finish taking it apart so I can store the pieces. So wish me luck. Whoops. Okay. Okay. Kind of a controlled fall. Well, that sounds worse than it is. I just removed a pry bar from in here. I need to go find it. I would love for this to be on the ground, but there's not room. Woo! Sweaty. Now, can't get open. And actually, most of the treasures are what's left in here. So let me just show you what I have. We have a termite nest. Those are important. One of the grates from the heating system. These are very important. These are the metal supports between the glass lay lights. A wall sconce. And this is stained glass from the original stained glass window and the lay lights. And we have a stained glass artist who has agreed to turn this into earrings for us to sell in our shop. So I've been meaning to dig these out. Well, that didn't come from the stained glass. It's part of an old window glass. It's super thick. Anyway, I've been needing to find these so I can get them to her. Some of our kitchen tiles that fell off the wall. And actually, I have an entire bucket of those that will go in the locked room. We can't afford to lose even one. This is a hand wriggle that came off the back stairs. We'll put that back. These are tiles that I bought. I have a little place I go that has old tile in a back room. And I thought these looked very Victorian. I don't know how old they are, but they had a lot of them. So the Victorian baths with the white subway tile, I thought this would really evoke that same period down in the basement bathrooms. This is really heavy, and I used to know what it was, and now I've forgotten. So I'll have to think about that one. And some old plumbing that I saved. We're going to have a little display area down in the basement, so we want to show some of the original stuff. And this, which is really cool, our super fan Joe will know exactly what this is. This is a cast embellishment in plaster or concrete that was designed by Nicholas Clayton and used on the front of Ursuline Academy. And I don't know why, but I ended up with several of them under a house I used to own that I unearthed cleaning out and digging out below. And I think we're going to do kind of a surprise with this at the house here. And this is a piece of marble that broke off from something that I haven't found yet. With the kitchen under control, I turned my sights to the butler's pantry, which was just a mess. It has been a catch-all place for everything. It may not seem like a lot went on watching this video, but let me tell you, I was tired. I had my Fitbit on and I walked almost 12,000 steps. And most of those were between the butler's pantry, the kitchen, and carrying things upstairs to get them stored in the servant's bedroom where we have a deadbolt to keep things secure. I don't think the kitchen has been this clean in over 2 years. It looks amazing. It has always been one of my very favorite rooms in the house. The week was also very full with our visit to the Moody Mansion and working on scripts for the self-guided tour. It's all very exciting stuff because our goal is to open for general admission tours on Wednesday. We're not going to advertise. We're just going to put up a banner so that hopefully tourists will trickle in and we'll have a chance to work on our processes and get the kinks out of the system before we advertise and have set hours. As always, thanks for watching, and be sure and subscribe and turn on notifications. Work is ramping back up at the house. The electrician is coming next Saturday to install the conduit in the chauffeur's quarters so that we can get that basement floor poured and really ramp up our restoration efforts. We hope you can join us on this journey. Until next time, thanks for watching. We're the League-Kempner House in Galveston, Texas.